to everyone. This full moon day of Wesak commemorates the birth, enlightenment, and the Parinirvana of the Buddha. Today, I would like to share with you the story of Buddha's Parinirvana. The Buddha taught the Dharma for 45 years, traveling along the banks of the Ganges River, visiting countless villages, and bringing wisdom and compassion to innumerable beings. At the age of 80, while journeying from the Magadha to Vaishali, the Buddha gave his final teaching to his disciples at the Great Forest Monastery. At that time, he already sensed that his health was falling. The Buddha knew that he would enter Parinirvana within 3 months. Even so, he continued his travels, compassionate and unwilling to abandon beings. In each village he visited, the Buddha utilized every moment of rest to teach the villagers the Dharma. This was true compassion and selflessness, a genuine embodiment of Bodhisattva spirit. Eventually, the Buddha arrived at the village of Pava, where he accepted a meal offering from the blacksmith Kunda. This was the Buddha's final meal. After that meal, his illness worsened. Even then, the Buddha continued his journey step by step until he reached the Sala Grove outside the city of Kusinagara. There, he chose the location for his passing. He lay down peacefully on the robe spread out by Ananda, lying on his right side. At that moment, though weary, the Buddha did not stop teaching the Dharma. At that time, a non-Buddhist ascetic named Subhadda came over to request an audience with the Buddha. Knowing he was near Parinirvana, the Buddha still gathered his strength to teach Subhadda. Subhadda thus became the last disciple of enlightenment by the Buddha. As the Buddha approached Parinirvana, his disciples were filled with sorrow and concern about the future. They urged Ananda to ask the Buddha 4 important questions on their behalf. First, when the Buddha was with us, we relied on him and followed his teaching. After his Parinirvana, whom shall we rely on? Who will be our teacher? Second, in the past, with the Buddha's presence, our hearts were at peace, grounded in your guidance. In the future, when the Buddha is no longer with us, what can we help? What can we actually do to stabilize our mind and strengthen our resolve in the path? Third, if we encounter monks with improper conduct, the Buddha would guide or correct them. After the Buddha's passing, how should we deal with such monks? Fourth, the Buddha's teaching naturally inspires faith. In the future, when the Buddha is no longer with us, how should we actually compile the scriptures so that the others have faith in and respect teachings? The Buddha listened to these questions and compassionately replied, Ananda, listen carefully and let everyone remember. First, after my Parinirvana, you should take Vinaya, the disciplinary code, as your teacher. Let the pure precepts guide in terms of your continued practice. Second, you should take the 4 foundations of mindfulness as your place of refuge. Constantly observe your body, feelings, thoughts, and mental states to cultivate awareness and wisdom. Third, if you encounter monks with improper conduct who refuse to be corrected, do not argue with them or associate with them. Exclude them with silence, let them bear the consequences of their own actions. Fourth, when compiling my teachings in the future, begin each scripture with the word, thus I have heard. This will indicate that it is the word I personally spoke, ensuring faith and reverence across future generations. Upon hearing this, everyone couldn't help but weep with sorrow. The Buddha gently yet firmly said, all phenomena have their nature and ultimately return to stillness and extinction. When there is birth, there must be death. My body is no exception. Trust yourself, hold fast to the light of truth, let it illuminate the way forward. As long as you follow the teaching, the Dharma will be in your hearts, and I will always be with you. He also said, all beings possesses Buddha nature. Anyone can attain Buddhahood. Even those who have severed their roots of virtue would have eventually achieved enlightenment. Thus, on the full moon night of May in 543 BCE, the Buddha entered Parinirvana peacefully. This marks the end of the Buddha's extraordinary life and the beginning of eternal presence of Dharma in the world. Because these three events, birth, enlightenment, and Parinirvana, all occurred on full moon days, Buddhists designated the day as Wesak Day. Today, as we gather to share in the joy of Dharma, it is all thanks to the enduring grace of the Buddha. After the Buddha's passing, the king of Kusinagara and as well the disciples held a great cremation ceremony in his honor. Buddha's relics were taken by 8 kings to be enshrined in stupas for the people to venerate, a testament to their boundless respect and remembrance of him. To this day, the stupas remain in the world, and the Buddha's spirit of compassion continues to inspire countless beings like an eternal light, illuminating the path for countless practitioners. On this full moon day, let us remember the Buddha's kindness, uphold his teachings, and walk the path to Buddhahood together. Wishing you all a joyful Wesak Day filled with Dharma bliss. Thank you.